Hi everyone, this is Marianne and welcome to my channel, The Unplanned Life. We have not had power since the super typhoon hit our area and lighting at night is limited. But one night, I could not sleep, so random things kept popping up in my head, and I decided to use non-colored tabs for the new notebook that I have started setting up as my next anti-planner notebook. I went analog on this. I used only a pencil, a ruler, and a sheet of Elias paper. I measured each tab to be 25 millimeters wide and 10 millimeters tall, and I will explain why later on in this video. Here is one tab already cut out, and there is a line right across the middle. As you can see, I'll also explain the purpose of that line later. And the next morning, we still didn't have any power, which is a real bummer, but I'm glad I have reasonably good daylight coming in from my window right in front of my desk. Let me just show you the current notebook that I have, which is housed in this Hobonichi cover. The cover is called The Alphabet Maze from the 2019 store, I believe. It's no longer available though. I have a video about how I have set up this notebook and notebook cover, and I will link it down below. I used colored tabs for this one, and the tab set that I have purchased had only 5 different colors in the set, so I assigned each color to a category of information. As you can see, the pink is for personal information, and for self-care, and orange is for self-improvement, blue is for to-dos, yellow is for notes and random information, and green is for money and business related matters. And it makes sense to color code these things, and I have remained faithful to the color code, but as I went along I realized that when I am looking for an older page, looking for a tab label, I don't actually search for it using the color that it's supposed to be. In other words, I don't pay attention to the colors at all. I pay more attention on what is actually written on the tabs. And honestly, I didn't really like the looks of the neon tabs. I mean, they are useful, they stick well, they are sturdy, but they're way too colorful for my preference. Now I have only about 15 sheets left in this notebook, and my next notebook is already pretty much prepared. This is the same notebook from the Unplanned Life, this one notebook that I am going to be moving into, but with a Primavera cover from Hobonichi. It's part of my Hobonichi covers collection. I have a video about how I prepared the notebook for this notebook cover, and I will link it down below. And here are the tabs that I made the night before, encased in a small Ziploc bag. And I actually have a sticky note on there to remind me of the dimensions of the tabs: 25 millimeters wide, 10 millimeters tall, and a line across at the 5 millimeter mark, as you can see. The reason for the 25 millimeter width is that I liked the width of the sticky notes that I used in my current notebook that you saw earlier. And as I start putting the tabs onto the sections of the notebook, you'll see how everything will work out. Now, the first page is where I always write my name and the date when I first used this notebook, when I start using this notebook, and the last day that I use this notebook. And because I'm not using it yet, and I don't know when I'm going to start using it, I'm leaving it blank for now. The first section I am going to set up is the full download section. It's actually a brain dump, but I don't like that word, and inbox sounds so official, quote unquote. So full download sounds a little bit nerdy, and I like it, so that's what I'm going to call this, and I'm going to assign one entire spread for this. First, I write down the name of the section on top of the page. And then to write the info on the tabs, I still use this Faber-Castell fine marker in black. notebook. Now I write the shortened name of the section on the top part of the tab above the line that cuts across it, and then I turn over the tabs so I can put some glue on the bottom part of the tab but on the other side, as you can see. And from that, it's just a matter of putting the tab onto where it should go. The bottom half of the tab is what sticks to the page. The top half where the label is the one that sticks out of the page. And because of the line across the tab, I'm sure that I will be pasting it on straight and not wonky. And that is why I needed that line across each tab, because I cannot paste things straight. And now I'm just going to refer to my current notebook to make the rest of the tabs for each section on the new notebook. One of the reasons why I like the 25mm widths of the tabs is that when pasting the tabs, I align the bottom of them with the lines or rules on the page, and that leaves me just about 5mm or less of space before the next line above it, and I align the next tab to that line. That way, all tabs have equal distance from each other, and I don't have to do the math each and every time. And I hope that you can also notice that I am placing the number 1 after the label on each tab. That is because when I am done filling in that section with the relevant information and the page assigned to it is all filled up, I just continue that section on the next free page on the notebook and put a tab on that with the name of the section and the number 2. And when that one is also filled in completely, I just use the next free page on the notebook, tab it, and put the number 3. This way, there is absolutely no pressure on me to reserve a certain number of pages for each section, because I never really know how many pages each section needs. Like, I feel like I cannot predict anything in my life anymore, much less how many pages I am going to need for each section in this notebook. So I just fill out my sections one page or one spread at a time, and it's pretty much just like how I live my life these days. Almost zero planning and living my life one day at a time, and which works for now. And that is basically it. This is not rocket science. There is no formula to it. There are no complications to consider. I just write the name of the section on top of the page, tab it, put the number, and then move on. And finally, we are done. You can see here that the tabs are all aligned from top to bottom and from page to page. And there is no color on the tabs at all, which is more pleasing to my eyes. I am just actually arbitrarily putting the ribbon page markers on random pages, but I really don't know yet at the moment where the ribbon page marker should be. I'm glad I have a total of 6 ribbon page markers though, so that's a good thing. And again, in my previous video about how I set up this notebook, I also have a demo there on how I added additional ribbon page markers to the notebook. Well, I like it. I'm really looking forward to moving into this notebook because I think the cover is just so beautiful, and that can be anytime soon. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.